All right. Hi, everybody. Okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? This is Gardetrace. I'm here with
Throwing
a
up the
few.
fingers.
Yeah, I'm here with a couple of friends of mine, and we are here to talk about Dragon Ball Z. Most specifically, Super Saiyan 3. Now, what we're trying to determine was Super Saiyan 3 actually useless or not? Okay, all right. I already know your opinion on it, but we're trying to discover why it was useless or what could they have done to like pretty much make it better.
May I
So
begin?
go on ahead.
You remember when Super Saiyan 2 was when you first saw Super Saiyan 2, how awesome it looked? And then you remember how Gohan proceeded to kick Cell's ass? Did you get any of that feeling when you first saw Super Saiyan 3?
Nope.
The introduction was badass.
Yes, it was.
With him shaking the earth and all that crap. But what did it do to Boo at all?
Pretty much he was
Absolutely nothing. It did nothing
okay.
to Boo. I mean, personally, I think Boo is a giant piece of bubblegum. You can't really hurt him unless you're at like elite level. But Super Saiyan 3, first of all, is useless. It cut Goku's time on Earth. I don't know how much. How much did it? Like in half?
No, even more than that. It like pretty much drained all the energy Goku could sustain to keep himself in the world of the living. You know.
I mean, this is my personal opinion. We're gonna debate this, but I think it's pretty useless. It had no epic moment like Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 1 or Super Saiyan 4 for that matter. So even Super Saiyan 4 had an epic moment.
It did, you know. But one thing about
it was landed in GT, and
Yeah.
they will never bring it back.
I mean, GT is officially dead on arrival.
And they made Super
sucks.
Saiyan 4
Topic
dead
for another
too.
movie.
all right, but here's a big thing about Super Saiyan 3, which is kind of why it got the short end of the stick in comparison to Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. It was not the 11th hour superpower that theirs was. For example, Super Saiyan 2 is for Super Saiyan. Okay, for Super Saiyan, it's like Goku has tried everything in his arsenal, going Kaioken times 20, you know, using the Spirit Bomb. All of that didn't work, so now Goku is really in a desperate moment. And then, of course, he witnesses Krillin get blown up right in front of him. And then that triggers it within him to transform into a Super Saiyan. And then he gets the strength he needs to defeat Frieza. And then Super Saiyan 2, you know, Gohan, being his pacifist nature, he didn't really want to fight Cell, and then of course Cell knew that he had to get him mad to get him to fight, so that's why the Cell Juniors came out. But that still wasn't enough. It was getting him mad, but it wasn't enough to really send him off. But then, like, of course, Android 16 gives him his words of encouragement, you know, to say, you know, it's nothing wrong with fighting for what's right. But then Cell smashes 16's face while he's still talking to him, and then that right there sets him off.
Just to get off topic for a moment, I wanted to ask this question. Android 16 is completely mechanical, right?
Yes.
There's no human in him at all.
No.
Right? Why the hell did when Cell stepped on his head, there was blood coming out?
That's like oil.
Red oil.
I don't fucking know. It was
Oil comes in many different colors.
I mean, red oil.
It could be like food coloring.
It's only recently that I watched that scene on YouTube when Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2, and I noticed when he stepped on 16's head,
Yeah,
there's
nigga.
blood coming out.
Maybe he has a human brain.
I don't know, but I remember he was supposed to be like 100% mechanical. But return to topic.
all right. But anyway, like, of course, that set Gohan off. He went Super Saiyan 2 and he overpowered Cell. So it's like, you know, these are things that are introduced towards the end of the arc to be like the ultimate transformation that will ultimately resolve everything. Whereas Super Saiyan 3, when the fuck did that happen? It happened relatively early. Like after the tournament, like pretty much after the tournament, we already got Majin Buu revived, and pretty much not too long after Majin Buu has been revived, we introduced Super Saiyan 3. So, you know, there's a lot more of the Majin Buu saga to go through, but we've early on introduced Super Saiyan 3. So it's like, okay, I gotta say, now him transforming into it, it was definitely an epic moment because, you know, the planet itself was about to crumble under the weight of the power. But the thing about it is, according to Goku, he could have defeated Majin Buu if he were serious about going after him, but of course not. He decided to leave it in the hands of two like a 7 and an 8-year-old motherfucker.
Don't you think it is your destiny to guard this planet? You're one day back on this planet. You only get 24 hours on this planet, right? And this happens? And you decide that, you're tired of being... He said he's tired of being Earth's protector, right? Or
Yeah, pretty much. He wants to have somebody else be ready because he says, I'm not going to be around forever. Somebody else should be ready to take up the mantle.
His destiny, like, you're one day.
Can you at least weaken Boo, not just leave him completely strong for school children to do it?
Just take care of this problem and, return to the dead. But granted, we all know it's just for them, to make the story longer and more interesting. But from a logical standpoint, it makes no damn sense.
Here's the thing about Dragon Ball Z. A lot of the conflict...
Person come back, there won't be no Goku then. What if a stronger enemy than Boo comes in?
But you can't spend your whole life worrying about who's stronger.
Well, put it this way. If that's the case, isn't it? So, what Goku... Here would have been a smart thing for Goku to do. Now, okay.
Oh, here's a topic of discussion for another day. Does Goku really love the planet Earth? Because the fact that he was...
Here's the thing. That depends on whether you're thinking about the way the Funimation dub of the original Dragon Ball Z likes to portray Goku, or if it's more like how Akira Toriyama likes to portray Goku. But that's a topic for another day, of course.
Because he was willing to risk the whole planet just to appease Vegeta's ego.
I don't know.
When he went Majin.
I don't know.
Topic for another day.
I don't know though, but fuck that nigga. But anyway, the big issue with this is now Goku. Now yes, now understand what Goku's angle. He wants somebody else to be ready to take up the mantle. But here's the thing: he's leaving Majin Buu, the greatest threat that they've ever faced at that point, in the hands of two little kids, a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old, who have never had a day of serious combat in their lives. They do show a lot of great potential. They could potentially be even stronger than Gohan since they became Super Saiyan really, really early in their lives. But the thing about it is, they don't have the fighting experience nor the correct mentality to fight Buu. So Goku should have just... Exactly. Goku should have just done away with Buu right then and there. And then, of course, Goku is going to go away. So then at that point, while there's no threat like impending on Earth, you can have all the time in the world to train Goten and Trunks.
And then the threat never come, the training would have been for nothing.
Yeah, but
here's the thing. No. Rule of Dragon Ball Z. When one threat is resolved, another one will eventually rise up. Even if it takes a few years for it to happen, it will happen. Why do you think we have series that extend past Dragon Ball Z? Because more shit has come up. We've had
Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks killed Super Buu at that moment.
When it comes to Super Buu,
but at least he had Gohan at the time. At least Gohan would have been ready.
Here's the thing about Super Buu. Now, because in the series, there's only been 2 Super Saiyan 2. So the only Super Saiyan 2s that have ever been shown, Super Saiyan 3s, what the fuck am I talking about? The only Super Saiyan 3s that are in the series proper are Goku and Gotenks. They're the only ones. So that means all the other Super Saiyan 3s that you see, that's like video game hysteria. But
I'm asking, because you remember there was a scene when Buu looked like he was actually damaged, and Gotenks was telling him how he's gonna kill him, like he's gonna blow him up and then blow him up again or something like that. And he was and then he defused. Was he strong enough to kill him at that moment? Was Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks strong enough to kill Super Buu at that moment? Now,
power level wise, Super Buu is pretty much the strongest of all of the Boos. But one thing about it is he could have defeated Buu. If he had the correct mindset going about it,
What is Kid Buu's power level form?
Kid Buu's power level
among the Buu forms.
It's higher. It's still higher than Kid Buu.
With that long antenna. And
no, Super Buu doesn't have a long antenna. It doesn't get long.
Evil Buu at the time?
No.
The one that looks gray.
It's the gray one.
Yeah. It was the one after they fused.
That's Super Buu.
That's Super Buu, which is the taller one. Okay. But he gets a longer antenna when he absorbs Gotenks, and then again when he absorbs Gohan.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is,
wouldn't that be the strongest form?
I'm just saying Super Buu in general, but of course,
okay. I always think of Super Buu,
shirt. In general. I'm just saying in general. Kid Buu is lower, but the thing about Kid Buu is he's just a lot more unpredictable and harder to handle. Because Super Buu, there were times they could like talk him down and reason with him a bit. Not all the way, of course, but more than what you would accomplish from Kid Buu. Kid Buu would just be blow shit up. It's like laugh at you, blow shit up, and you wouldn't be able to see it coming.
Yeah.
He'll fall asleep in your face too. You will try to attack him and he'll blow you up. But the big thing is like Gotenks. He could have potentially beat Super Buu if he was serious. But of course, all that time they're in a hyperbolic time chamber, and then Piccolo was even stalling for time for them. So he's taking a really long route all the way around. So that way, they get all the minutes they get, because minutes on the outside are hours on the inside of the time chamber. So it's like all of that. He's doing all of that, and they're coming up with all these dumb techniques, these dumb flashy techniques that are really fucking useless and don't work. And then the one thing that he made that did work, like the super ghost volley attack, that did work. That was a good technique. But the thing about it is he didn't just use his power and just go straight for the kill on Buu. He's just,
toying with him.
He's just basically toying with him. But of course, toying with him, that's not a smart thing to do, because you toy with him, he's gonna fuck your shit up. And also, he's a fusion. So you gotta remember, Goku is fused, so they gotta time limit. And then another thing you gotta take note is that Super Saiyan 3 drains their power.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's another flaw of Super Saiyan 3.
Exactly.
I don't know why it drained you so rapidly. Must be all that cool hair.
Yeah, but here's the thing. All that cool hair just rapidly growing is like, you're just draining your
energy. It takes a lot of energy to make all that hair glow yellow.
Exactly. Just growing all of that hair is pretty much you're using all of your energy and you're giving your barber a massive coronary at the same time.
Who looks cooler in Super Saiyan 3? Goku or Gotenks?
Well, I would say Goku, especially when that look he gets,
You want to know why I like Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3? Because he's so small. And he has all this hair.
All that hair that's longer than he is.
Yeah, it's almost as long as he is. I always say Gotenks looks so much cooler. Goku's a grown man. It reaches like his butt.
It's kind of like Raditz's hair. Imagine if Raditz went Super Saiyan 3. It would be hanging on the floor. It'd be kind of like how how Kaguya from Naruto, how her hair is like twice as long as her body. It would be like that.
It would look so awesome if Raditz went Super Saiyan 3 for real.
But of course,
trailing.
But of course, Raditz was just completely forgotten about. But that's a discussion for another time. But anyway,
I'm surprised they haven't brought him back. Maybe
here's the thing. I'm gonna make a whole video regarding wasted characters, so Raditz will be somewhere in that video.
Oh, please let me know about that.
Oh yes, it's coming.
Raditz should be like number 1.
Actually, there'll be somebody else who'll be number 1. But here's the thing. I don't want to spoil it for you anyway. But the big point is Super Saiyan 3 transformation. It has pretty much the same problem as like the Ascended Saiyan and especially the Ultra Saiyan transformation. So like how Trunks back in the Cell Saga when he's just expending all of that energy just to raise his power level and make his muscles bulkier, but of course he's burning himself out really quickly, and he just doesn't ultimately have the speed to even catch up with Cell. Anyway, that's what Super Saiyan 3 is like, except without the rapidly getting crazy bulky muscles part, because you're burning through your energy so quickly, so it's kind of like you gotta defeat your opponent as fast as possible. It's not like Super Saiyan,
which you could potentially do. I mean, because
but that's never the case in Dragon Ball.
It's never the case, but he could potentially just Super Saiyan 3 wipe out Buu, problem solved.
He could, he could do that, but it's just a matter of he doesn't. And then when we get to later on in the series, and then we get to the point where Kid Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. By this point, Goku, he goes Super Saiyan 3. He's fighting Kid Buu on the Supreme Kai's planet. The thing is, he burns himself out, so he didn't even get to ultimately finish off Kid Buu, because Kid Buu is putting up a fight. It's not like he's just laying down for Super Saiyan 3 Goku to beat him. Even if Super Saiyan 3 Goku may potentially have a higher level of power, because I kind of discussed what power levels, Goku's relative power level around this time could be in my in my Broly video where I talk about how strong he was, and then I also make the comparison of how strong Super Saiyan 2 Goku is. So yeah, but the big problem is you have all this huge level of power, but it's going to take more than just having a crazy level of power to kill Kid Buu. You need to be able to sustain all that shit, and he can't. So ultimately,
Boo's power doesn't drain in these fights, right? It's like unlimited energy, stamina.
well, from what we've seen from Kid Buu,
You know, like he doesn't get tired.
he doesn't. Well, he falls asleep during a fight.
I know, but it's like a little, like.
But that's enough for him because, like, even like back, Majin Buu, I'm talking the fat one, he falls asleep. He only needs to be asleep for like a few seconds to get pretty much the same level of sleep of a person getting 8 hours.
Yeah.
So, that just
And
a few.
Boo is a species, right? He is not a creation.
Well, here's the thing. He's a race known as the Majin, and no, he was not a creation. For example, Bibbidi did not create Majin Buu.
Yeah.
Majin Buu has existed since time immemorial. Majin Buu has been around for a long ass fucking time. So basically, dating back, like further back, way further than recorded history. And another thing about it is like Bobbidi is not Bibbidi's son.
It's a
Bobbidi is
clone.
actually would be like a clone.
Yeah. So if Boo is a species or a thing, where the hell are the rest of the people?
Where the hell are the rest of Frieza's race?
That's another question. Where the hell are they? All you saw was his brother, his daddy, and his grandpappy.
Another thing. What the hell is Frieza's race called? So
I would like a proper name for them.
the cold
Except
race,
Frieza's race.
the cold race, the
That's
frozen
what they all
race,
look like.
the ice race, because their names have a cold motif.
The Game Sharks? Because all you need is 4 months of training to surpass every known Super Saiyan
Yeah,
form.
that-
Even though Super Saiyan 1 kicked your ass thoroughly. But just give me 4 months. Just give me 4 months.
Dude, that's a
120
topic for another time.
give me
Dude, we could
120
eat into that
days.
shit. We could tear that shit. But
That's why Return to F was like the worst for me. Because that just...
I can
4
understand.
months.
Hey, dude, when
4
I
months,
find,
like,
hey,
don't
in my
give me-
everything wrong with Dragon Ball movies, when I finally get to that movie, you're gonna love it.
I mean, that ruined the whole movie for me. I mean, like, come on.
But like, of course, when it comes to Super Saiyan 3, it really didn't ultimately do anything. It doesn't have any.
didn't.
It doesn't. As a matter of fact, Super Saiyan 3 doesn't even have any wins under its belt. No win. Like somebody has never been Super Saiyan 3 and actually got a clean win or a win at all in a fight.
That is so true.
No wins. And then even like in
And before Super, that was the strongest canon form.
Exactly.
For a Super Saiyan, before Super.
You talk about Super Saiyan 3?
Yeah.
yeah, Super Saiyan 3 was the
It
most
just had-
powerful.
But it had a ton of bad features.
A lot of bad features.
Hey, put it this way. This is how the Saiyan transformations go. It's like, the grade A transformation multiplies your base power level by 10. Super Saiyan multiplies it by 50. Super Saiyan 2 multiplies it by 100. Super Saiyan 3 multiplies it by 400.
That is
So it's a huge leap above Super Saiyan 2. However, it's accomplished a lot less than it has. And another thing you got to take note is both Dragon Ball GT as well as Dragon Ball Super pretty much point out how useless the form is. Remember in Dragon Ball GT where, Goku's up against Baby, Goku's in his kid body, he goes Super Saiyan 3, however his body is too immature and diminutive to even handle the energy of that form. So, it accomplishes nothing there. And then, of course, we have the whole thing where Goku becomes Golden Great Ape and then eventually becomes Super Saiyan 4, which ultimately eliminates the need for Super Saiyan 3. And then we think of Battle of Gods or Dragon Ball Super, where we have, Goku, he shows Beerus his Super Saiyan forms. He shows him the first one, then the second one, and then he says, here's Super Saiyan 3. Let's have our fight. Hey, if you want, I can go back down to Super Saiyan 2. Beerus says, that won't be necessary. Be Super Saiyan 3. And then Beerus, of course, hands Super Saiyan 3 Goku his ass by essentially just flicking him like a booger. And then gives him a chop on the neck. So, boom. And then, what do we do next? We introduce Super Saiyan God, which eliminated the need for Super Saiyan 3 because it's just leaps and bounds ahead of that. It's just...
We need to make a discussion about Beerus.
It's like, here's the thing. We've been talking about lots of things we should make discussions on, but one thing at a time.
I personally think his...
Save it, man. Save it for when we do it.
There's no wonder did the creator feel like they made a mistake by creating Super Saiyan 3. Because they find all possible ways to make it so useless.
Nah, they're just pointing out it has more flaws than benefits.
It really does. It's kind of like what they did. It's kind of like how they treat like the Patara fusion now. Oh my God! You know what? I could just riff. You know what? I've already riffed on that, and I could spend a lot more time riffing on that. But still, you know.
I mean,
so,
it only, how long it feels you for? Like an hour?
Just an hour. But the thing is, your energy gets used up quickly. It's basically, you know, you gotta beat them as quickly as you can. So it's kind of like Super Saiyan 3 now.
It's like both fusions. I mean,
they could have used the same training they did with Super Saiyan 2, try to maintain it.
For which one, Super Saiyan 3?
Like you know,
that's gonna just drain you. Like I don't think you.
I don't think it's possible. You know, just the transformation itself uses a lot of energy.
I don't think you can quell that thirst that form has.
I don't know.
The thing was how they did the same thing with Super Saiyan 2. They
did it with Super Saiyan. They did it with the Super Saiyan transformation. They you know, gotten themselves used to the form and were able to draw out the most of the power with that without having to go through all that bulking up of their muscles. But then, of course, you know, with them having a better understanding of the power of a Super Saiyan, that's how they were able to go to the next level, or more specifically how Gohan at that point in time went to the next level when, you know, his anger, like, you know, triggered, and then he went Super Saiyan 2.
Super Saiyan 2, like, it drains you minimally, right? It doesn't drain
Super Saiyan 2...
Like, you can hold that form for a very long time.
You can hold it as long as... It's kind of like, once you've mastered Super Saiyan, you can hold Super Saiyan 2. It's just pretty much double the power of a Super Saiyan. And it's the great mixture of strength and speed.
Speaking of Super Saiyan 3, do you like the new eyebrows?
I like that.
I hate that. They're like just big slabs of muscle.
I actually like it. You know, it's like, you know, it gives you a Neanderthal look. Yeah, but I actually thought it was a cool feature. I do at least like the look.
3 could have great potential. I feel like they could have really trained how to sustain it and how to maintain the energy. Like how to consume less energy using Super Saiyan 3.
I mean, you may be able to train for a little bit of that, but I mean, like...
I don't know, but you know what?
It is a massive drain on you.
You could try to reduce the damage that Super Saiyan 3 causes.
You mean the drain on you?
Yeah.
I mean, you could try.
It's like, you could try, but that's never even been something that was explored upon.
What is it, like...
So it's meant to be like a big bump, that one-time power attack.
Who the fuck knows at this point, you know?
How powerful is Super Saiyan? I've always envisioned Super Saiyan 3 Goku going at it with legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Who would win?
Did you like not watch my video about how strong is Broly? I literally already talked about that.
First of all, I have my fantasies. I'm tired of hearing about how strong Broly is.
Okay.
Screw Broly.
Okay, alright, let's talk about it here. Okay. Now, everything that I've said, if we were to take Goku from the Frieza saga, you know, as a Super Saiyan, his power level was 150 million. So if we were to that would mean his base power level would be 300 million. So if we were to take this Goku and make him Super Saiyan 3, his power level would be 1,200,000,000. And then we have Broly from movie 8, whose power level is 1,400,000,000. Now, Broly's power level is higher, but the thing that you have to take into account is that Goku's base power level has been increasing as time been going on. So all throughout, you know, him on planet Yardrat, his base power level increased. There's 3 years of training that he did to prepare for the android's arrival, more power level increase. And then, of course, you know, the training in the hyperbolic time chamber, power level increasing. And then, of course, you know, the 7 years in overworld, power level increasing. And then you have to think about Broly is, you know, he takes that huge blow from Goku at the end of that movie. He comes back for movie 10 and receives a Zenkai. And what we've seen of Zenkais is they can give you crazy boost in power. Just look at Goku's Zenkai after his body was thrashed, after it was stolen from Captain Ginyu. He would have never been able to stand up to Frieza before that, but then after that Zenkai boost, all of a sudden he can stand up to final form Frieza using 1% of his power. So think about it. Alrighty then. So just think it through for a minute.
Oh my goodness. Golden Frieza can beat Broly. Oh my god, I still got a taco left.
Oh man, that's the big thing about it. So, you know, it's just kind of hard to determine at that point.
Forgot about that.
Alrighty then. So, but one thing that I bet we could definitely just get the general consensus of is that Super Saiyan 3 has definitely not been useful. It could have been.
It's the coolest looking.
It's the coolest looking form, but
Not the
So
most
how can you improve it? Because more like a
I don't know.
short-time thing. It's
Know
a
how you
short-time
improve
power
it? Just go
attack.
Super Saiyan guy.
okay, you know what? He said it right there. Just go Super Saiyan God. You've improved Super Saiyan 3. Just right then and there. Because, you know, who the fuck needs it at this point? Alrighty then.
Super Saiyan 3 just needs to be a short technique. It don't need to be very long. It's just short and powerful, and then poof, change back.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball characters just aren't smart enough to beat their opponent as quickly as they can. They're just stupid. Here's the thing: if the history of Dragon Ball Z has taught us anything, they're not smart enough to pull that off.
All that matter is like one attack, poof, and then if you could do that quick transformation, transforming from one Saiyan form to another, that would be kind of awesome.
Pretty much what you're saying is kind of like a Kaioken. So pretty much like a Kaioken, you can use it for a quick boost of energy. But the thing about Super Saiyan 3 is, like, you know, to suddenly appear into it, it takes a bit of time to, you know, you go, yeah, even though, like, he did transform into it rather quickly in Battle of Gods, but, you know, it's like, you got to have a moment where you can charge up and get up to that point, because, you know, it's kind of a extreme thing to go Super Saiyan 3, you know. But, I don't know, it's just, it feels like it could have done more, but, I don't know, fuck.
That's the only problem. It needs a lots of improvement.
It needed a lot of improvement, but fuck.
It had more punishments than rewards. That is the only thing.
It's just, you know, too many built-in nerfs. It just really didn't accomplish anything, even though it could have. I don't know if Toriyama probably just didn't know what he was doing with the form, or was just writing by the seat of his pants, because here's the thing, so many things were introduced in the Majin Buu saga just to be ultimately useless in the end. You know, Super Saiyan 3 turned out to be useless. The Metamoran fusion dance turned out to be useless. The Patara earring fusion turned out to be useless. And then, of course, Mystic Gohan was useless. All of that, like 4 potential things that could have ultimately put away Majin Buu, didn't. And then, basically, we go back to the Genki Dama, the Spirit Bomb. We go back to that, something that's never worked before, and then they do it. But
I feel like if Super Saiyan 3 was the Spirit Bomb, would have worked.
Alrighty then. So, well, he wouldn't be able to make a Spirit Bomb Super Saiyan 3, but one thing about it is just, Super Saiyan 3 is just the absolute biggest flop of the Dragon Ball Z. Pretty much, Super Saiyan 3 was basically like Batman v Superman. It's something that has the potential to be really huge, but it turns out to be an absolute pile of shit in the end.
And then they keep bringing it back as if it's going to do anything different.
It doesn't. It just doesn't. You know what? You know what? That's it. Super Saiyan 3 is useless.
Like, we have to bring
enough
the
said.
Super Saiyan 3 only to find out it's still not as good as it never once was.
Alrighty then. Well, hey, that'll be it for this video. Have a good day, everyone. This is Trace signing out. This fucking useless piece of shit. Thanks for watching my podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more content to come. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. If you have any suggestions of things you would like to hear me and my friends discuss, be sure to give me a word on those sites. Anyway, have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you next time. This is Trace signing out.